And the path of the earth around the sun, that's another circle, nearly an ellipse. These two circles intersect each other. రెండు ఆ చక్రాలు ఉదాహరణ చేసి ఉంటాయి. Those 2 points of section, intersection, are kayasishyavrtakastashyabadhanamagmishtamadanthasaha. So those 2 points are moving anti-clockwise. జ్యోతిషం ఇదంతా. జ్యోతిషం ఇది. Now the whole thing is description of the space. The knowledge, that is a Veda, is knowledge. Veda is not prayer. Your understanding of the knowledge about the physical universe around you, it destroys your karma. You become part of the universe around, even just by understanding that it is so. I am on the earth. Earth is a small thing. It is like a small seed spinning on its own axis, going round the earth, revolving and rotating. These two conditions, rotating and revolving, are constantly spinning. I am not static. Constantly I am like a football kicked up into the skies. I am constantly on the movement, where there is no staticity, which is why I am spending myself and reforming myself. I am gathering some more dust and losing that dust. Karma and everything are conditioning me. All conditioning is result of my karma. My karma is on account of my being part of a moving system. All these things are next to Rudra, most of them are riks. Some of them are Yajus. Some of them are in the Adharvana also. Some, the same riks are sung as samans. Ruk is sung as musically, that is saman. Most of the Samaveda is only nothing but riks. Riks. They are with a tune. That is only. Some of them are Yajus, not all. Some Yajus are different from riks. There are some riks have entered into this Yajus, also very few. But only riks have entered into the saman.
All Sama are Ruk with music.
Yes.
All Ruks entered Sama.
Not all riks. No, all samans are riks. All riks are not samans. Huh? Yajus is meant to propitiate the devas. That is why it is yajati. So even Parsis, they call yasana, that is yajna. The word used by the Parsis is yasana, Y-A-S-N-A, that is yajna only. Most of the riks that we are chanting in the Rig Veda are already found in the Vedas of the Parsis, because they hail from northwest part of Persia. They were Vedic Aryans. They were having yajna, that is, even now it is called yasna. So it's only one source that has spread out all into all directions. It is not as though they have come here and occupied Bharatvarsha. It is not so. From here they had gone there and come back to their motherland.
ఒకటే క్వశ్చన్ ఫస్ట్ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ భూమి బేసికలీ భారతదేశం
The earliest, this is race, all the race on the earth has not come at the same moment. Eon after eon, some thousands of years, earliest man who walked on the earth, who has what you call Homo erectus, that a man who has stood up and who has evolved into the Homo sapiens with intelligence. Intelligence about the surroundings, that has had taken place in the Aryavarth. Yes. Later, every 20,000, 30,000 years, some other race is coming up in some other region.
when offshoots of the same
Offshoots is only knowledge. No. There are several. You see, like you plant about 10 plants in 1 acre of land. One plant has come up earlier. Have a different source. Human source is the earth only. The earliest civilization, first man who could understand, who thinks, who thought about himself and the surroundings was here. From here again they went out. They joined the other forces, Indo-European, Indo-Aryan, then Indo-Germanic language. Their sources are language is the source of tracing the origins of human races. They have taken language as the source of information, because the same word is found in the Central Asia, in the northern Mesopotamia, above the Egypt, that is north of Egypt. They were speaking Sanskrit. It is very clearly known about 14th centuries before Christ, the Central Asia, the language spoken by all educated people is Sanskrit only. They are the ancestors of the so-called Parsis. Parsis from Persia. Iran is the new name. The correct name is Persia. Iran is a very recent name. The original name is Persia. So those Parsis were Aryans. They were the people who left this place long, long ago and then came back sometime later. So it is not as though some Aryans suddenly invaded north part of India and driven away the Dravidians. It's not so. This was the earliest place where a civilized and thinking man. So that is the Homo sapien, is the man who is able to, for example, the institution of marriage. One man living with one woman is called a marriage. Now there are no marriages. If a woman is living with two husbands, one after another, it's not a marriage. A man has left his first wife, it's not a marriage. He can never be married again. He is only living with somebody else. You cannot call it marriage. That is the Aryan principle. This was strictly followed 2,500 years ago in the northernmost part of India, and it was the principle on which people lived 10,000 years before the Christ in Aryavarta, between Ganga and Jamna. So this is what is the identity mark, identification of the Aryan? Institution of wedlock. And for the wedlock is not for the sake of raising children alone, but for to get rid of our earlier indebtedness to this world. If he has children, he has contributed to the growth of the race. Thereby he redeemed his own debt to the earth, to the human race. So marriage is known as a wedlock. It is bandhan, a pavitra bandhan. In fact, even this is a bandhan when this is known as pratisarya. Pratisaram is a man who now I shall perform a yajna. He has taken the oath, and that is pratisaram. That is wedlock. I am marrying this woman for the sake of granting two good children, two human beings to the human race, thereby redeeming our debt, her debt and my debt. Once it is broken, a Hindu marriage is never broken. So these are the ancient principles which were ruling our people in this region More than 12,000 years before Christ, I can clearly say this. There is clear evidence. 12,000 is before Christ. And a small stream of that culture was Parsis, who lived there about 2,500 years before Christ in Persia. You can't reopen it. Once it's locked, it's permanently locked. It's the question of no dissolution. Even in law, a person who gives away his daughter at the age of 13 in marriage is punishable. Child Marriages Act, he is punishable. He is punished. But the wedlock is not cancelled by the court. Did you see this? It does not annul the marriage. It punishes the man who has given his daughter. That's all about it. This is the point which I raised in the meeting of judges in Visakhapatnam. All lady lawyers, judges and family courts, they have all gathered. The sanctity of the Hindu marriage cannot be nullified, cannot be denied by any law made in India or anywhere. The method of marriage may be punishable, but not the marriage, not to be dissolved. I was judges when raised this point. Even today, the other day, two judges came to Visakhapatnam. They said, we are playing that tape again and again. Then that is giving us guidance in giving judgments over the cases. Chepparu. So this is origin principle. This origin, and how? What is this way of life? How did they arrive at this? Say that this is the right way of living, based on the knowledge of the universe surrounding you, the forces governing your life, growth and death. So the secrets are revealed by the phenomenal universe around. So this Veda is describing all those 9 planets, 27 stars, asterisms. The divinity is ruling the... Yes, astrology is there even for the Westerners, but there are no gods over the grahas. Our graham is worshipped. Surya is God. Jupiter is God.
Recent discoveries about the non-existence of 9th planet.
No, that is... In fact, it's not a discovery, it is known to us. Because we have never treated that as a planet. They treated it as planet.
We don't treat the